Hi, everybody. I am sitting here with Yara della Torre, and we've profiled Yara before. I'm going to include a link to the article that we did with Yara. But she's been on my mind so much because as we're going through this crisis, a global pandemic, Yara has already been through her own crisis personally. And she's really inspiring. And we just asked her to share a little bit about overcoming crises. And Yara, take it away. Why don't you introduce yourself and share your story?
Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much for having me here. Like Anne said, my name is Yara della Torre, and I am a salon owner and hairstylist in Key Largo, Florida. And I am also a balayage educator with Sunlight's Balayage. Um, I have been in contact with Anne in the past regarding a little bit of my story. So last year, she reached out to me after she heard a little bit about what happened to me. So I am a hairstylist like all of you guys, and I have been doing this for 10 years. I opened up my first salon in 2018, and shortly after that, something big happened in 2019. So in April of 2019, I had a big accident. I I fell off the second story of my home, and actually I became paralyzed from the waist down immediately. And ever since that happened, I had my eyes set on coming back to work and returning and coming back strong and still continuing to do hair and be a leader and be an educator. And since the beginning, I've tried to keep a pretty positive mind, and every step of the way has been pretty challenging. A lot like what we're all facing right now, this like pandemic. It it's similar in a lot of ways as to like when my accident happened. Everything was taken away from me kind of like in an instant. And with this pandemic, I feel that a lot of us can relate where things were taken away from us from one day to another. Um, and
Yeah,
yeah.
something about your accident, Yara, that I remember is that I found so moving is that you said as you were falling, you were trying to protect your hands. And you were aware of that because you love doing hair. So tell us a little bit about how you got back into the salon, um, and how you are now, trying to keep that connect, even though salons are closed, how you're keeping that connection to both your clients and your team. So talk about that. Once you got back into the salon, what did that look like? How did you work on hair?
So there was a lot of adapting that went on. And I feel that um, every step of the way was, a big challenge, but I figured it out. I look at each situation and found solutions for it. For example, I needed to get around my client, and I needed to grab my shears, grab my comb, grab whatnot. And I realized that usually when you're walking, you just take a step to the left, a step to the right, and grab your stuff. But when you're in a wheelchair, it becomes a lot more of a challenge. So I got this holster designed to help me carry my tools. I also got a special chair for my clients that reclines back. So I have adapted with each situation, and found a way to really come out on top. And I feel that that is so important. And it's something that we can also do with the situation given at hand. We just need to find ways to adapt to this sort of new world that we're living in.
Right, and you have adapted. You've done some great things for your clients and some great things for your team. Tell us about the little kits you've created for your clients.
Okay, so yes, so I feel that for a little while, right after we all got the news that we have to shut down and we got to stay indoors and we don't really know how long this is going to go on, I feel like I went through like a lot of emotions and a lot of sadness and a lot of like stepping back from everything and not really knowing what I was going to do, how we were going to generate income, how I was going to be able to keep my clients, engaged and happy and stay relevant in their lives. And I've done that in a couple different ways as I've come out of like my sadness stage and I've gotten more like my work boots on. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this as an opportunity and I'm going to adapt, just kind of like I did during the time of my accident. And I feel that is something that we can all do. How am I going to take this situation and make it something that is going to work for me, even though everything's a little bit different than what we used to know? So I created this like really cute small kits, 4 of them that target 4 different pain points for our clients. So it's going to be like toning for blondes, toning for brunettes, deep conditioning, health restoring. And each one includes a little travel size bottle of a shampoo, a conditioner, and a luxury product. I put a really, really affordable price tag on it. It's $30 shipped to your door. I include a little thank you note, instructions on how to do it. And I ship it to them and they have sold out. I mean, literally, I just released them and they're like gone. My clients are engaged. They're thanking me. They're saying, you rock. This is so awesome. And I'm getting all the feels, I'm getting all those, like when you turn your client around and they see themselves for the first time and you get that like, yay, I just made my client smile. So it's been a really nice way of kind of taking what I have learned from my accident and that really big, traumatic situation that happened in life. And then what we're going through right now, which is also very big and traumatic and huge for all of us, and turning it around and making something out of it.
Yeah, and I loved what you said earlier too, when we were talking about how you have done the same, keeping your team close too. That you have created. Well, share. Talk about the little kits you created for them and the Facebook group.
Yes, so that was actually one of the first things that I did, and I still like at the shock stage when we were all like, what is going on, and things were shut down. I think that one of the very important things for me was to keep my team together and to keep my team tight and know that I am going to be here for them during this whole time, just like they have been there for me. So I took some immediate action. And the first thing that I did is I went on Amazon and I just got this like super cute little bath candle kit and I sent it to each one of my 3 girls. And it just had a little note saying, I care about you. We got this. Take some time to pamper yourself. We'll come back. Everything will be good. Because, these are scary times. And I think it's very important for all of us to make those close connections and to keep them with our team and with other professionals, in any kind of brand or group that you're a part of. Like keep those connections going and keep that like constant business and hair talk like going. I think that's going to help everybody's like mental state of mind, and it's going to help you grow, and it's going to help spark ideas. Like my idea didn't just come out of me. Like I didn't just wake up one day and like did it. I have joined education groups, forums. I have taken so much advantage of all this free education that we have. And in one of those, people were toying ideas around, estheticians are doing it a lot, like those little packages. And hairstylists were going, oh, well, what can we put in a package? Because everybody thinks hair color, like that's what our clients want. And yes, great coverage solutions are very important. But I was like, what if I can do something to help them just feel good? Like, so, and it came from that interaction. So keeping your team together and
your clients happy. And I'll close with something else you said. I asked you earlier just how your health was, how you were feeling, and you talked about how working with hair has been like your salvation, and that that this time is hard for you, for stylists who are used to having that connection. So just tell that piece of it a little bit when you talked about, I mean, unless this is, I hope this is not too personal, but you've been in pain, like you're physically in pain.
Yes, yeah. So I was sharing with you, Anne, that that I'll start from the top. I have tried to most recently incorporate a lot of like motivation and inspiration within my own personal like branding on my Instagram. And I share a lot of this. So you can actually even go back and see one of these posts. It happened kind of like a week to a week and a half into our shutdown. I was, feeling really down, like a lot of us have felt. And I was thinking to myself, and I shared this with my audience on Instagram because I felt like it was something that they could relate to. Even though I was feeling it physically, I feel like a lot of us feel this way. So one of the biggest questions that I get asked often is like, how did you return back to work after having this accident? Like, how are you a hairstylist? It's like hours. I mean, I don't work nearly as much as I used to, but it's still hours on your body, hours moving around, hours, with your arms up, etc. And people are like, "You're so brave, you're so inspirational," and I'm like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys." But but really, I came to the realization that it's not me doing hair that's like so like incredible. It's more what hair gives me back. And that's why I do it. I'm not doing it to be inspirational and to be brave and for everybody to say, "You go, Yara." I'm doing it literally because hair is what keeps me positive and inspirational and like at high spirits. So I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Although it's not physical pain, like the one that I experience, and like doing hair takes my mind off of it. It can be emotional pain. It can be, it can be a million different things. So having that outlet is really important. And like I was saying, finding ways to allow that outlet to still come out, whether it is creating kits for your clients and getting those like feel good feelings and providing for them and still showing them that you care and that you're here to service them, or creating tutorials, or playing with dolls, taking education. Just find those things that are going to keep you going. And not only that, but also just try to prepare for the future. Like, try to take this time to do things a little bit different, to think outside the box, to do things that nobody's tried before. And although it may be scary and it may not work, like you just right now, nobody expects you to be perfect. This is the best time. Like, I just started this kit, and that's going to lead into my online store. I've always wanted an online store, like where clients can go and buy shampoo bottles and stuff, but I was like so wrapped up with having a salon and having clients and my education that I was like, online store, forget about it. Clients can come to the salon and buy their shampoo. But now is the time to try this stuff out. And what if it really works? And then I'm creating a revenue for my salon while it's closed and I'm selling shampoo bottles.
Absolutely. Right. It's thinking differently, which you have had a lot of experience doing. So I'm so happy we got to talk. Thank you for spending so much time with me. Don't hang up. I'm just going to stop the recording.